All right guys, today is a big day. We got a package that just came in. Let's get to unboxing it and check it out. Has a bunch of plastic on the outside of it, and what I was surprised to know is it has bubble material on the bottom, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we're gonna unbox this, and I actually should see how much it weighs. 15 pounds. All right, pretty heavy. I think a lot of you guys are gonna know what's in the box if you guys follow me on like social media and everything like that, but I heard they put a little bit extra stuff in the box, so I'm curious to see what they added in there. It might not be too much, but I don't know, let's just get into it and check it out. I'm kind of excited. All right, so this is not the most comfortable way to unbox something, but I do not have like a table to put anything on, so I'm kind of limited to using this, and I don't have anyone to film for me either. So I got my box cutter. Let's get into this box and start opening it up. All right, so this thing is actually wrapped in here pretty good, actually. It's not too bad. Looks like we got a shirt in here. We got an orange shirt. So we got some stickers from Power Lithium. We also have a QR code that we can scan. Looks like we got a, is it a bottle opener for your keychain? That's what it looks like from Power Lithium. And they also gave us a pin from Power Lithium, which I can actually use that for work in the line of work that I do. You guys know about working at any type of grocery store, you know people take your pins. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. All right, so let's get into these shirts. Power Lithium right here. This is a nice shirt. Nice and orange. Actually, that's the back of it. This is the front of it. That's pretty nice and clean. I gotta give it to them. It's not bad. Drop a comment if you guys want to see us start making merch on this channel, if you guys are interested in buying it. I need to get something like this. Like, it's clean and simple. I like that. I'd probably wear something like this, like around. Not too bad. And then we also got another shirt. I'm surprised they put another one in here. Oh, okay, this one's from Mr. E. So, okay, you're looking at the back of it, which I haven't seen yet. What does the back look like? One less car on the road, and then that's how the front looks. Mr. E around that top corner. Nice little shirt. It's not too bad. They definitely make me want to start making merch. I mean, everyone's having merch nowadays. I got to get something out there on the market. But this is the biggest thing. So actually, I should probably bring the camera in here so we can show you what we're working with, because this thing is badass. All right, so here we go. This is why the package is so heavy. This is the last thing in here. God, I need someone to film for me one of these days so I can do this a lot more easier. I love how they pack this thing, so that's really good for, you know, transportation, everything like that. You guys do not want this to come damaged at all. Like, you guys do not want to have an issue with this thing. But it's really nice bubble wrapped, and it should be decently easy. This one seems like it's just sliding off. There we go. Okay, it's a little mess. All right, let me set the camera down. All right, one more piece to take off and we should be good. And this one's definitely gonna have to be cut, so let me cut this real quick. There we go. Actually, there's two parts in here. All right, this is what I'm talking about. This is a big battery. If my camera can focus, can you get that? There we go. Yeah, this is a massive battery. It's actually the same size as the one that we put on the Zeus. This is a 72 volt battery though. It's a 13 amp hour. We're using the, I think P42 cells in here, the Moly cells. So this should be very good cells in here. We should have a very high like discharge rate and all that kind of stuff. I think this has 150 amp BMS in here, but we are limited to the other battery that I think has like an 80 amp BMS in there. So this is pretty nice though. I'm not hating on it. I'm wondering if we do have to switch out this back plate. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're just gonna take this off. I believe we can use the stock SUPER73 rail, so it just slides right in. It's not even gonna use the connectors on the rail anyway underneath. It's literally gonna use this plug right here. And this plug, keep in mind, this doesn't match up to the plugs that I have on the battery. So if you guys pick up a 72 volt from customebike.com and you have the same setup I have on my SUPER73, if you've been watching the videos, it obviously doesn't use a QS8. These are very good connectors. I believe it's QS8. Yeah, if you guys can see that, if it's zooming in. QS8's a little covered. Maybe this side, no, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's a QS8 plug, and they give us an adapter. So this isn't a splitter. This is gonna plug into here, and then the other side of this is gonna go to our battery that we already have on it. So we're gonna go from 32 amp hour, we're gonna add 13 amp hours onto our Super 73. That will give us 45 amp hours on our Super 73 in total. Another cool thing about this battery is that it has a smart BMS in it, so we can get BMS on our iPhone or Android, and we can actually see what the cells look like. So I actually want to get my phone and see if we could connect it without actually bringing it up on the bike yet. I don't know if you have to power it up first, but I'm hoping we could just verify it real quick. Yeah, so I tried to find it on the software, but it looks like we're gonna have to probably hook the battery up first because it's not reading on here yet. But it's actually reading my Super 73 battery right now, which says 32 amp hour. That's how I know what it is. If it would have said 13 amp hour right here in this corner, I would have known that it was this battery. But we're gonna have to get it hooked up so we can actually see the cells on here and everything. Maybe we also have to hook it up to get this working. I honestly don't care if this doesn't work. It's probably not gonna work anyway. But I noticed pushing that button doesn't do anything. But it's not the end of it. I don't really care. And I hate to say it, Power Lithium, but I am going to remove the stickers on here. Like, I'll probably leave them on the first time I kind of put it on here, but I definitely want to put my own logo right here. I have some stickers that I want to throw on here. So no offense to you guys, but I'm definitely going to be taking these off. And if you guys don't know my Super 73, let me bring you in here and give you a closer look at what's going on. So this cable right here is to charge the bike. I've actually been charging it to 100%, which I actually have to do that on this battery too, because you need to have them both at the same charge before hooking them up together. So what we have to do is, this is the main connection, and this goes to the battery. So we just have to take this off, and then the harness that we have is just basically gonna go in between these, and then the other wire is gonna go up to the top where we're gonna take our stock Super 73 battery off, which there's actually not even a battery in here, it's just a blank shell. My actual Super 73 battery without the shell is up here. So I actually might get rid of this. I was gonna use it for a project one of these days, but I think I'm just gonna put it back in the shell and maybe just get rid of it to recoup some of my money from buying this expensive battery, because they are pretty expensive. They did hook me up on the price. I'm not exactly sure what the actual full price of it is, but if you are looking for custom batteries for your Super 73, I was gonna go through Chai system batteries, but they don't make anything for the Super 73 and a 72 volt. So you have to go with Power Lithium or something like that. And I'll give you my thoughts on it. I haven't obviously put it on the bike yet, so I can't really tell you how good it is or not. And we'll have to do a whole new range test all over again on the Super 73, but definitely excited to get this hooked up. Now I gotta figure out how I'm going to charge it. And that's one thing I'm a little stumped on. So I started looking at the battery and I was like, okay, it has a charging port right here, similar to all my other ones, but I don't have a 72 volt charger that uses that little plug. Most of these are like 3 amps, and I don't even think you can charge it from here. I don't even know if they have that hooked up. I'll have to actually give them a call. And then I started looking at this side. There's no other spot to charge it. So I was thinking maybe you plug this in and then you take this and then you can charge it with one of these ends. And I was like, oh crap, I don't have a charger that uses like an XT90. But the good thing is, coincidence, I've been working on my Zeus and I was gonna change out the controller. So I do have an XT90 to an XT60 connector, and then I can go down and use one of my Lightspeed chargers that are somewhere in there, and they're very hard to see. But I got a bunch of them. So there's one right there and one behind the other Suron wheel. But I love those chargers. They charge with XT60. The actual Super 73 does not charge by XT60. It uses this type of plug, if you saw it earlier when I was mentioning it. And I'm not exactly sure. I think it's an XLR plug. I think it's the same one as the Onyx. So that's what I'm probably going to be using. I really want to switch this out. I think I could just take the pins off and just go to XT60, and then I can always just start using these, because these chargers are pretty nice. You can focus. There we go. Yeah, there's the chargers. I love these chargers. I actually want to pick up some more. But since Lightspeed's out of business, it looks like we're going to be going to the Chai System battery chargers. I think those are pretty nice, so I'd probably highly recommend those chargers for like any of your e-bikes and stuff like that. And then there's one called like Cycle something, and I think it does like different voltages, but it's like $300. So if you guys want to spend that type of money, you can, if you're a baller like that. But I think that's a charger we're going to replace these with, but I definitely got to get an adapter if I want to use those, or I'm going to be stuck using that 5 amp charger that Custom e-bike sends us. Okay, let me go get the key real quick to the Super 73. Let me take the stock battery off. I'll move my Super 73 and we'll put this battery on. We'll just see how it looks. I can't put it up yet until it's fully charged, but we can at least see what it looks like. All right, so we took the Super 73 battery off. Now let me get this battery, take the tape off to get the keys, and take the base plate off, and then we're gonna see if it slides onto here. so let's try this out and make sure we got it the right way so it actually goes this way. The wires come out from the front, which is pretty nice. You're not gonna see them. And yeah, okay, so it doesn't fit. I guess we're gonna have to use this bracket to put it on there. And what I'm hoping is, so I'm thinking about my Zeus. There was nuts, you guys see me? So on the Zeus, let me take this off and show you. It does suck that that doesn't just fit with the stock Super 73 rail, but on the Zeus, there's bolts right up here, and then there's nuts on the other side. So if there's nuts on the other side, which I'm thinking there isn't on the Super 73 rail, I think we should be able to take these off right from the top so we can switch these out pretty damn easy. But I was thinking about the Zeus earlier, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be such a pain in the ass, but I actually think this is gonna be a lot easier because the bolts go right into the actual rail. So we're good on that, thank God, because I am not taking this enclosure off. That means we have to do all the wiring all over again because it was just gonna be a mess. I will say that the stock base plate for the Super 73, the stock one anyway, for the stock battery, way better quality than this one. This one definitely feels a lot cheaper, but I mean, we're gonna have to use it regardless, and it should be okay. I mean, it's not like a moving part on the bike, so just something to think about. I noticed the quality on this compared to this, but I think I'm just gonna switch it out right now just so we can at least put the battery on because I really wanna see how it fits. Something I just thought about while doing this, I was like, oh, this should be easy to take apart, and then I realized that the cables go inside the frame. So where do these cables end up at? I don't remember where they went on the bike because I never took this off, and I'm not gonna cut this one. I can always sell it with my stock Super 73 battery, but I'm not exactly sure where these cables go. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that it just slides right out and it's not connected to anything. But it definitely seems like it's stuck up in there somewhere. Oh man. All right, it looks like I got a lot more work to do. Oh man, I thought this was gonna be easy. But this cable for this runs all the way to the back, somewhere in here, and I believe I have it zip tied to something because I just wanted to keep this just in case I ever went back to factory. So it looks like I'm gonna have to come under here. We're gonna have to probably take these plates off so I can see, and then cut it, put the plates back on, and then hopefully this will slide out. Okay, so after hurting my hands for a while and jamming them up in there, yeah, I had this stock cable zip tied to a few things so it wasn't hanging down and hit like the rear tire or anything like that. But it's still gonna be a little bit of struggle because this cable's all the way through, but should be good. Oh yeah, there we go. Got it unstuck. This is what we had to do. There we go, baby. You wanna buy my stock Super 73 battery with like 500 miles on, let me know. All right, so now let's get this one bolted up. Make sure we put it the right way. So it's gonna go this way. I'm definitely gonna have to do it loose because we need to make sure that the front of the battery, since it's bigger, doesn't hit the front when we're turning. And we also have to make sure it clears the seat. If anything, the seat does have a little bit of adjustability to move back and forth just ever so slightly. So we might have to move the seat because this is a bigger seat than stock. So it does come up farther than normal. But let me start getting these bolts in, and then we'll just go from there and see. All right, so I brought you in here a little closer to show you the battery rail is on the bike, and it is loose because I really just need to get a feel of exactly where it's gonna be. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit more so it's not that loose. We have a little bit of movement, but I still want it to be like kind of tight. Some of these bolts were really hard to get in here, and I think it's because the Loctite that Super 73 put on these bolts. So I had to kind of clean them up a little bit, but still, some of them are being a little bit of a pain. So I had to kind of go over them a little bit more. Ooh, tighten that one a little bit too much. All right, so now I have a little bit of movement. I just don't want it to move too freely because if it moves too freely after we pop the battery off, then I'm not gonna know exactly where it's set at. So cables go in the front, and there we go. It fits on this one. And it actually looks like it can go very far up or it can go a little bit more back. So I want it to look kind of clean so I could just step back and kind of get an idea of where I would like it to sit. I feel like I would want it to sit a little bit away from my chest. So I might want to have the rail a little bit higher up, and it's barely comes in contact right there, so we're gonna have to slide it ever so slightly back. So this is gonna be trial and error on your part. You know, you're just gonna have to figure it out like where you want it. And I did not tighten the rail good enough because it moved a bunch. But I do have an idea of where I want to put it at. So let me get this bolted on, then we'll throw the battery on. That's gonna be its permanent position. So let's get to it. All right, so here's how the bike looks with the battery installed, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it doesn't look as attractive as the stock SUPER73 battery does. It sits very high, it's a lot more bulkier, it draws a lot more attention. Obviously having the logo on there, you're definitely gonna see that. It's white, everything else is black and red, and like I said, I'm gonna take that off. But I don't think this mod's gonna be for everybody. You can go to Power Lithium's website and you can get like a 51 or 52 amp hour battery that will sit underneath, and you won't even have to have that big battery at the top. The only reason why I'm doing it is because I already have the 31 amp hour battery, I'm sorry, the 32, and I don't think it's necessary to really throw this battery away and junk it, so I figured why not just add something to the top. Now adding a heavier battery to the top is going to make it a little, how could I say, like a little bit more top heavy. You would rather actually have most of the weight on the bottom, and it's gonna feel a lot more comfortable. So like I said, they have batteries that sit right in here. It's gonna make the bike feel way more better instead of having all the weight at the top. Even most of the weight is at the bottom, it's still gonna throw it off just ever so slightly, but I'm okay, I'm gonna deal with it. I definitely wanna get way more range out of this bike. And it's funny because now my Sur-Ron used to be my bike that I got the most range with. Then it was the Onyx when we got the Rebel 55 amp hour from Chai. And now the SUPER73 is gonna be more range than, oh, hold on, my gardener's doing some stuff. Now it's gonna be more range than the Sur-Ron, which is absolutely insane. So I'm definitely planning on taking this all the way to Clovis. I'm gonna try to at least do like 50 miles with it one of these days. It's probably gonna be a 2-hour video to be honest, but look forward to it. I'm definitely going to do a video hooking it up. I'm gonna have to give the company a call and see exactly how I'm going to install this, because I definitely can't connect both of these batteries with charging it, and I don't have a charger that's for XT90, so I gotta figure that out. But that's pretty much it, guys, and thank you to Mr. E for sending us that t-shirt. That was very nice of him, and thank you Power Lithium for sending me all the extra goodies and the t-shirt along with the battery that I paid for. And if you guys want to see every view on it down the road, stay tuned. I'll definitely do a video connecting it, seeing how we're going to charge it for the first time. Once it's plugged in, we should be able to charge both of the batteries off of one plug, but I have to get them both to the same voltage, so I just can't do any more today. But definitely stick around, because it's going to be a 45 amp hour SUPER73 running around the streets. And I'm curious to see if we get more top speed and more power or more acceleration, because this has a higher BMS. Now it's still limited to the controller, but we shouldn't have much voltage sag. So I'm very curious to see if we're going to hold a higher top speed for longer, or maybe get an extra 1 or 2 mile per hour jump. We'll see. All right guys, see you in the next one. Peace out.